There's a question that is so, so precious, and that I'm so glad when someone dares voice it. It's this: do I have to be fully healed to be a healer? Let's talk about it. This is the healer's journey, and I am your host, Inge. I walk natural born healers, people who have sensitive nervous systems, a desire to love other people, heal the world, eradicate the pain and suffering from it, all the way to awakening themselves as healers, learning the skills, learning a new way of relating that is healing, to embodying themselves as healers, to practicing this way of being with others, this way of channeling energy to allow others to heal, to craft structures and systems that allow their gifts to come online, to helping them take the next steps to create an actual business. And there's one thing that I want to tell everybody who's even remotely interested in stepping onto the healer's path, the healer's journey. So if you've been listening to this podcast and feeling sort of half like a fraud because you're not a healer yet, but you're really excited about listening to this and there's something that really appeals to you, this one's probably for you. There's a block underneath so many really talented practitioners that really goes along the lines of, do I have to be fully healed to be a healer? And I love it when people have this block or this question, because it shows a level of integrity and standards. In the Reiki world, the reality is you can take a 1-day, 2-day training, do your Reiki 1, Reiki 2, and go out there and practice Reiki on people. And when people have this block or this question, am I healed enough to do this? It's because there's an inner sense of like, hold on a minute. I am still working through a lot of my own issues. I am nowhere near being healed yet. How can I do this in integrity? And I think that's a good thing, because we are working with people's inner things. Yes, we're simply channeling loving energy, and the Reiki can't really hurt anyone, but we can. We know that our unhealed patterns can create harm. And so if you're asking this question, first of all, thank you. Thank you for having enough reverence for this work, enough respect for it, enough integrity, truly already, that holds you back from claiming the title of healer, because your ego doesn't want to play that game. And yet, it is still a block. It's still a block because that idea will focus the attention of the people who have that idea onto their own healing journey, and in a very subtle way, in fixing themselves. And that can be endless. It's a way for perfectionism to hide out. And here's the uncomfortable truth that everybody knows: perfection doesn't exist in human form. If it's perfect, it's an abstraction. If it's an abstraction, it's not incarnated, it's not embodied. Perfection does not exist in human form. Period. Healing is a little bit different. Healing is becoming the most fullest, truest version of yourself in full relationship with life. Or at least that's what I mean with healing. And that goes with having access to the resources of your body's capacity to heal injuries, heal wounds, heal patterns that are not serving you at the highest level. So the question, do I have to be fully healed to be a healer? If you're asking that, you will never start the journey of becoming a healer. You will never embark on the path. And therefore, you will never become a healer. Moreover, walking the path of the healer is going to bring up what you need to heal to become a healer of integrity. So you can't heal, and not start. You need to start somewhere, because it's as you lend yourself to becoming a channel for universal healing energy that you notice, oh, I have a block right here and right there and right there that might need some healing. But you need to take that first step first. Otherwise, how are you going to know what needs to heal? All right, so a little pause here. I'm going to get off my conceptual high horse and actually tell you what this has shown up like for me. So when I started my healing journey and my healer's journey, and they were very intertwined for me, I was operating from this very strange, like, dual place of I was both a total perfectionist, wrapped and racked in social anxiety and total fear of life, but also total courage. I wasn't aware that I wanted to heal exactly. And I wasn't aware of myself as somebody who needed healing. I didn't identify with myself as a victim really in any way. This was in the early 2000s. Culture was a little bit different around mental health back then. But I was interested. I was interested in how people work. I was curious about it. And what actually happened is that as I started training as a healer, I started doing the chakra journey, learning about all my chakras, and I started practicing Reiki, is when I noticed actually how many blocks I had. And these blocks are like blocks to life, blocks to love, blocks to my own voice, blocks to appreciating and understanding my deep soul level desire and love for innovation and creation. Obviously, I have no idea of knowing what would have happened if I hadn't started those modalities. But it is upon doing the work of the healer, starting that process, that what needed to be healed in me was revealed. And it was upon doing that work, upon receiving healing sessions myself, upon working on myself, upon learning how all of this worked in my own body, upon working with other people and being in relationship with other people in a healing capacity, that the things that needed healing surfaced, and they did heal. And so what I'm trying to say here is I'm not sure you can be a healer if you don't start way before you're ready or way before you're quote unquote healed. I think the real question mark, the real thing that you need to ask yourself before you embark on the healer's journey is, am I willing? Is this important enough for me to do in integrity? Am I willing to work with this, learn this slowly, chew on it, do my own healing with it, so that I can heal my way into becoming the healer I know I came here to be? There's one of my students in my Healer Awakened program. And this is an archetype or an agglomeration. There's many that follow this description, I think. She's a natural born healer. She is somebody who does a lot of output of her energy. She learned really young to access healing energy for one of her parents. And so she came into this being like, I think I am already a healer. I think this is already who I am. And I want to learn to do it in more integrity. I want to learn to do it with more skill, with more refinement. I want to learn to do it in a way that it doesn't harm me. And she did her journey through Healer Awaken, and it was honestly really beautiful and astonishing to watch her take her power back week by week by week and almost heal from her own impulse to heal others, and learn to love herself and learn to take care of the vessel that she is. Learn to awaken the wisdom in her. And it's kind of interesting. As part of that program, there's an invitation to practice Reiki on other people. And I could tell she's like, I don't want to. I want to keep working on myself. Why am I telling this story? If I come back to the question, do I have to be fully healed to be a healer? What happened in her case is more like, how do I want to be? What kind of a healer do I want to be? And it was changing her life in every direction, in every way. So am I saying here that the question, do I have to be fully healed to be a healer, is valid? Yes. In a way, I am, because it's about integrity. It's about reverence for the healing process. And yet, how did this happen? It's because she gave herself permission to start the path of the healer and to go slow and to do it with reverence and respect, to heal from the inside out. That wouldn't have happened if she said no to the call. No, I'm not healed enough yet. No, I'm not ready yet. This only happened because she was placed in a position to start taking on the role of the healer in a professional way. That it showed her, oh, this is the posture I've been looking for. Because here we get to like the real juice of this episode. I believe walking the healer's journey, or embodying the archetype of the healer, it's not about something you become. Like, there's no end point. It's about something you grapple with. It's a way you relate to life. It's a way that you take responsibility for yourself. It is something you take a stand for. If you're a stand for healing, that healing can go in you. It can be in a relational field. It is about how we relate to others. It is about how we hold our boundaries. It's about how we communicate our needs and our values. It's about what we decide to create in the world. All of that exists on the healer's journey. And if we say, well, I need to heal more first before I step on it, we kind of blind ourselves to the fact that if you are healing, you are a healer. And if it is in your DNA and it is in your deepest desires to work with other people, that you shine by working with other people towards healing, you start now, my friend. Stop robbing us. You start now. You start figuring out exactly what posture you need to take, what responsibility you need to take to do that work of the healer without hurting people, without letting your own wounds sort of bleed on anybody else. Okay? I've been doing this work for 15 years. I am so much more healed and whole than I've ever been. And there is a way to go. These last 2 weeks, some deep core wounds showed up. I want to say again, but what's really different about it this time is that they showed up in my life. I orchestrated them to show up. I take responsibility for that. And I am not shying away from those wounds the way I have a million times before. because I'm doing my healer's work, because I'm engaged in this process. I'm healing my relationship with the masculine, with men in general, based on my templating of what I received. Now I've uncovered it. Now I can work to heal that. I did some beautiful somatic processing that really shifted some things for me, and it might be the birthplace of a new program eventually. But imagine if I'd waited all these 15 years for this healing moment to be like, okay, now I'm ready to be a healer. We would have wasted my 15 years of experience. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be as healed as I am if I hadn't started on that path to begin with. So if you're someone who asks yourself this question often, like, do I have to be fully healed to be a healer? I'm going to walk you through some different questions to ask. One, are you called to walk the path of the healer? Are you called to work with other human beings to help more healing show up on the planet? If this feels like, it'll feel in your body like a humming, like your cells come alive, like an inner, like a yes. Then your next question is, am I willing to take responsibility for my end of the street to do this well? And if your answer is yes to that as well, that means it shapes your path. It gives you new boundaries, new things to work with, and that gives your path some more structure. Now you can go look for mentors that get it, what you're looking for. Now you can read books in a whole new way. You can look at the online courses you want to purchase in a whole new way, allowing them to pull you forward into this reality of working with people. It allows you to take every relationship in your life as a practice ground, as a way to straighten out your energetics, to get into clean, right relationship with people that fosters healing, that stops you from taking on energy that is not yours, shame that is not yours. It stops you from being drained in your relationships. You get to practice in every moment that you're with other people. So cool. So if you're really with me on all of that, I can't not tell you about Healer Awakened, okay? Because it's built for you. It is a program where you're learning Reiki 1 or relearning Reiki 1. That's part of the program, yes. But what it is actually really about, it's about what Reiki 1 has given me. And it is about that energetic posture of the healer. It's how do you manage your own energy to be a powerful, impactful stand for healing. To do energetics and relationship in a clean way. It's broken down into 12 skills. Each skill is an energetic skill that you need to practice Reiki. And this is not taught anywhere else. This is really comes from my lived experience and little drops of divine inspiration. And a lot of Reiki downloads and Reiki experience. 12 skills. A skill of calling yourself home. So if you know that you're really called to be a healer, but one of the things that you're so worried about is that you tend to take on other people's energy and you tend to over care for them and you spread yourself thin, taking care of everyone. Well, that's the first skill. You learn to take your energy back. And you learn to be held yourself. So just that, in week 1 and 2, holy moly, are we breaking the blocks, we're breaking the paradigm of what it has been like to be an unofficial healer in the world. An unofficial healer in the world, well, they scatter themselves everywhere and they don't ask for support. We are breaking that script right off the bat. No, You're calling your energy back to yourself. You're responsible for your own energy, but nobody else's. You're calling for support from the earth, and you are letting go. You are being received and loved, and you are allowing divine love through you. That's skill number 3. Connecting to source, connecting to all that is. Skill number 4, you're becoming a channel. So this is where we really get into Reiki, self-Reiki. Learning to hold a compassionate, neutral presence that doesn't take on anybody else's stuff. If you're with me so far, if you're buzzing, if you're thrumming, let's have a conversation. So do you have to be fully healed to be a healer? There's no way, my friend. There is no way. Do you have to heal more before you can really see people in a professional capacity? Hell to the yes. Okay? That's why I am now I'm taking people still through Reiki 1, 2, and 3, but it's over 9 months to a year. And you are doing a lot of self-healing work in that time. And I'm only accepting people who've already done quite a bit of self-healing work. But do you have to be fully healed? Absolutely not. No more perfectionism like that on my watch. This has been The Healer's Journey. I'm your host, Inge. I want to see you in the next episode, and we're going to keep on busting these blocks every single week so that your soul, who has most likely an invitation to be a healer in this life, can become more embodied.